Hey, how's it going on, guys? So what you just saw was me getting back from a very important project I had today, and it sort of keeps me, it drives me crazy actually. Like the stress. I'm just ranting. Sorry about that. Actually, so I started this new series on on YouTube where I just go ahead and speak to the camera and just pour out some of the things I'm thinking of and has been happening to me lately. I did the very first one last week and it was really interesting, and I felt maybe I should do more of this, to just come up here and be open without really doing too much of editing and too much of clear cuts and whatever videos you've been seeing before. Although those videos will still be happening, well, I've been thinking a lot about the reason why I started the things I started, and this has really been giving me a lot of insights into who I really am and the kind of content I create and the kind of person I'm actually being. A lot of intentional thoughts go into these things I do, and there's been a lot of things happening to me for the past few months that it's just been really crazy, jumping from one thing to the other. And I just feel that there is a need for me to sort of understand exactly why I'm doing the things I do. Now, this particular thought first occurred to me 4 years ago when I was still in uni, and there were some really important pointers I saw at that point where I sort of decided that I wouldn't want to work for anybody, even though I was working for an agency before that particular time started. But then I made that decision without having any idea what I'm doing, right? It was just something I just decided that, okay, today I'm making a decision to not really want to work with anybody. And a few years down the line, I've actually kept to this particular thing. I have my own agency, I create my own content, and basically just run my own thing. But then something is still missing. I'm still missing that thing that sort of gives me a reminder of why am I doing things I do, right? It's a really weird and vague question that really doesn't have an answer, but to some extent, I know that somewhere along the line, along this journey, I'll figure out that answer. Now, something that couples with this particular, question of why am I doing things I do, sort of relates to the feeling of not seeing growth after practicing something for so long. I've been doing this thing I've been doing for like 4 years consistently, and I still feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, right? When I first started, I had this clear-cut vision of, oh, by this time I should have been here doing this and that. And right now, I'm not there yet. And I sort of question why I'm not there yet. And I still don't know what it is. Like, I'm still trying to understand what exactly should I be doing in my life right now. And I feel a couple of you too might feel the same way. You questioning so many things like, what is the purpose of this creativity thing I'm running into, I'm pushing, and I've been doing for so many years? But then I still really want to come to a realization of what this actually means. And a friend gave me an analogy of, what happens to trees, right? And when you plant a tree for the very first time, what does that mean? So when you plant a tree, right, it doesn't just start coming out from the top. It does a lot of work on the root. And I was reading a couple of days ago and I realized that when you first plant a tree, it first starts with the root, and then the roots start going deep into the ground. They spread their tentacles, or whatever it is they are called, root tops. They spread it into the ground, and then they keep going all the way. And I realized that trees actually spend 2 to 3 years, fully forming the roots in the ground before whatever it is that's on top really starts to become something really interesting. And I'm like, wait, so that means that the tree first does this groundwork where it sort of creates a foundation for itself. It solidifies things on the ground, inside the ground. People are not seeing it yet. So you've been working all 2-3 years, you're not seeing results, or you feel you're not growing. It's possible that you're still building your root, right? You're still trying to establish something deep into the ground. And you might not be seeing anything on the surface right now. You might not be seeing any value changes. You might not be seeing any tangible results in the open. People are not really seeing a lot of things you're doing right now. It just means that you are still in the development process. You are building things. It's still in the ground. You're building the foundation that if after 10 years, if your foundation is actually strong, you can actually build a career that will be so important and so necessary that people would see the services you produce and sort of understand that yes, he has put in the work. Now, imagine this. For a stem or a normal crop, it doesn't really have deep-rooted, foundation, so it's easy to uproot. And that is what happens for sort of so-called viral stuff. No shades to anybody, But then if you've done the work, you've put in the time, the effort, the energy, digging deep into the ground, investing in your habits, in your person, externally, internally, whichever way, you're just making sure that you become this person that is whole and really knows what he's doing. One of the really important things I learned about trees is the fact that because the root is so big and is so vast in the ground, it has given it a really strong foundation to now build something really big. The roots, the branches, build something that people sort of see and marvel. Like imagine planting a mustard seed and then it's germinating into something mighty, or you plant a very simple seed and a sequoia is born, where people can camp under it, find shelter, animals find whatever it is they're finding in its branches and all the rest. It produces fruit. But before all these things start happening, it goes through a period of planting which is rooted in the ground for more than 2-3 years. And I also realized that the ways the roots spread, they're actually more than the branches. Like they are bigger, they are lengthier than the branches. So you can imagine if the roots is that deep and that strong, whatever it is that will come on top of it will be so amazing that everybody will see the benefit. So if right now you're still in the building process where you feel nobody's seeing what you're doing, there's no result, there's no growth, think about it this way: that because you're not seeing growth in the physical or in the open or above the ground, it doesn't mean that you're not progressing. You're actually building a lot of power underneath, that the day you eventually burst forth out of the ground, the day that tree head or whatever it is just comes out of the ground, it's very easy for it to quickly grow, and then people start to see. And we sort of call this thing overnight success, not knowing that you spent several years in the hiding, building yourself up and trying to get yourself to a really good place. So this is an encouragement to anybody who's out there. You feel discouraged, you feel there's no result, you feel there's no growth, just hold on, persevere a little bit longer, because someday, somewhere, somehow, all those things you've been putting in the roots, under the ground, the energy, the effort, the time, the commitment, and whatever it is you've been doing, to just get yourself there, get yourself seen, one day these things will spring forth and people start to see, and then they will benefit. As in, imagine what a simple tree, a very small tree can, not even a small tree, imagine what one tree can do, right? It produces carbon dioxide and oxygen and all those kind of things that we talk about, right? That is the effect of a tree. A tree has so much impact, so much benefits, but for the first few years it seems as though it's not existing, and then give it 10 years, it's serving a greater purpose. So please don't feel discouraged, don't feel out of place, right? Someday, somewhere, somehow, this thing would happen, and if only you can persevere a little bit longer, if only you can decide to invest in what you know. And one of the reasons why, one of the key important things that really helps you to realize that you're still doing well and things will get better, is understanding why you started what you started. If you can remember why you started, you would feel this motivation not to quit. You can remember how long it took you to get to where you are right now. There'll be so much energy in you that will tell you, look, I'm not quitting, I'll see this thing through. And whoever it is you are watching this right now, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself also. I'm still trying to figure it out as well. So if you would like to join me on this journey of figuring it out, regardless of how long it takes, just drop a comment in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's going on with you. If you really want to connect with me beyond YouTube, you can send me a personal message on dim@elodimidi.com, and I'll definitely reach out back to you and we'll connect. As the tradition is, I'll probably find a way to end this video, but I really don't know right now. Oh, I know. And I actually want to show you something, but it's a little bit of a secret, so promise you keep it a secret. Alright. Wait, you're actually serious about this thing, right? The secret. Alright.
Put your hand